guys, I'm Sassy Corn. Welcome to my channel. You guys can call me Sassy. We are going to be checking out Night of the Dead. We're going to be going over some setup, so that way you guys are all prepared to survive the crazy shenanigans that this game has to offer. Let's get started. So, when you guys are looking at the difficulty menu, when you guys have the waves at night, they come at the 24-hour mark every single night. These tells the AI in the game how difficult it will be to kill the zombies. On normal, when you get past wave 15, which is night 16, then you're dealing with an insane amount of zombies, and it gets worse each night after that. So if you are someone who is used to these kinds of tower defense games and are feeling like super baller, go ahead and do it on hard, survival, challenge, legend. That's going to be insane because those zombies are going to be insanely hard to kill, and you're going to have, 20, 30, I think you can get up to like 40 or 50 zombies in a wave. That's going to be really gnarly. So for intents and purposes, we're going to go ahead and do everything on normal. All right, so when you guys spawn in, you're going to be coming out of this little bunker behind us. Pay attention to where that is on your map, because this is the direction, or one of the directions, as there are several bunkers in this game, where when it comes time for the wave, this is where the zombies are going to be coming from, and other bunkers. Be very mindful of where you're starting so you have an idea of where some zombies will be coming from. You're going to notice that as soon as we spawn in and we move around, you are going to be seeing some items get spawned in with us. These are going to be lootable items that you're going to be paying very close attention to throughout the game while you're out on looting missions. So you're going to have cars, boxes, and barrels, not just what's outside. When you're going inside a building to loot, there are going to be crates, bins, filing cabinets that you can go ahead and get into to loot. So we're just going to go ahead and start getting all the lootables here. I want to get you. So these are going to be all of the man-made looting items that we are getting first. After we get all of our immediate man-made lootable items, we are going to cover the natural resources that you're going to want to be collecting along the way. Now, all of these items that we're collecting are going to be super useful for one of three things. One, base building, weapon upgrades, or base upgrades. All three are going to be important going forward in your journey to escape this island. So you want to make sure that you are collecting as much as humanly possible, and that you are stockpiling as much as humanly possible. Because you're not always going to be able to go out and loot every single day. Sometimes you're going to have to stay at your base, fix things, upgrade. Maybe sometimes you won't even survive the night and you have to reload from your save earlier in the day and replan your strategy so you don't get your butt handed to you. Let's go over the natural resources. So you're going to have a couple of different bushes that you're going to want to be paying attention to. These guys have mostly leaves. Sometimes they'll have vines, and sometimes they'll have seeds. But like we can just see, they're mostly leaves. You want to be gathering these bushes, because these are going to have the vines and the branches, which are going to be insanely important. Vines you can use to create tree branches, and tree branches can be used to make some traps, but mostly they're going to be used to reload your traps and to repair them if they take damage from zombies. So you're going to want to be very mindful about getting these and stockpiling, so that way you're able to repair on the fly, reload on the fly during a wave. And then the other important natural resource you guys are going to want to be paying attention to are these kinds of stones and black stones, because you'll be able to get upgradable resources from these guys. So in order to, log a tree, mine some ore, you're going to have to create a pickaxe and a felling axe. So as you can see, if we go to our inventory, we don't have the option yet to get either of those because we're going to have to get some small stones. These small stones are very easy to see and very easy to pick up in this game. So I recommend if you're ever off the beaten path and if you come across any small stones, collecting those, because when you guys upgrade your base to these stone walls and stone floors, you're going to be replacing or repairing those with small stones. And if you don't have enough to repair throughout a wave, they do crumble, they do catch on fire, and it does allow the zombies to get into your base. So make sure you are stockpiling these, which we have plenty right now. And we are just going to go over these different items. So we have the claw hammer. As the description says, it is for destroying buildings. The felling axe is for chopping down trees. The pickaxe is for mining all of the big boulders and stones. Arrows go for your bow, and the bolts go for your crossbow. So we're gonna go ahead. We don't need a claw hammer yet, but we do need a pickaxe, which we're gonna go ahead and craft, and a felling axe. So we have that ready to go for when we find our base location. So we're just gonna go ahead and drop those onto our inventory bar down at the bottom. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get these. So these guys are gonna be super important for you because they're gonna drop boulders, limestone, stones, sometimes gunpowder, sometimes iron ore. All of that is gonna be super useful for making specific materials like copper ingots and bricks, cement, and what's the last one? And sandstone? It's sandstone bars? I think it's sandstone bars. And sandstone bars, which those three ingredients that I just listed off are all used for upgrading the walls and foundation of your base to stone, which prevent fire damage. Some zombies in this game explode when you kill them. So be mindful of that and be ready to upgrade your base as soon as you have enough items to do so. Now, notice that this is taking me forever to, break down this rock. It also, right now, going to take a long time to chop down any trees. Once we get some animal skins and bones, we'll be able to upgrade all of our items at the equipment bench, but we just have to get there first. So in order for us to go ahead and get our crafting station set up, we're going to want to figure out where the heck we want to set up our base. So let's open up our map. The best location I find to set up our base is going to be somewhere in this lovely little middle square because it's a central spot and it's going to make looting insanely easy to go find stuff, come back to your base, drop it off, and then go back out again. You're not going to be starting from some far out corner and having to work your way to a looting spot and have to huff it back before the wave starts. Just being in the center, it works a whole lot better, I find. So we found our base location. We are in our central tile. We're almost in the middle of it, which I think is pretty good. What's going to be really great is that we have this entire wall here to really work with to build out our base. So that way, oh, that scared me. So zombie's gonna come running from the other side. That's chill. So this wall is gonna be indestructible by the zombies. So we have a great back protection. So we only have to worry about zombies coming from the front, which is gonna be great. Again, zombie stream, they were coming at me left and right around my base and it was just a hot mess. So this is going to be a really great setup. So let's go ahead and get started building up our base. All right, so we are going to start with our foundation and we are going to have the foundation be pretty flush to this wall right here. So, oh, actually, wait, before we do that, because I can see this getting in the way here eventually. Cool. All right. So we've got our main floor out and about. So we're going to cut down a couple more trees. And then we are going to focus on getting our stairs up. So let's get... We can build a couple more of these. So ideally, I'm going to want another trap here. So we're going to go one down. And get all of this lined up. Now things will still work fine on the base if things aren't perfectly lined up. I'm just OCD and want everything to look nice. So I'm going to be paranoid and make sure all of it looks good. We're going to need a couple more logs. We want to at least finish out this little section right here to be able to place all of our benches that we need for our first day. So bear with me here. All right. And there's you. And let's see if we can just build out this other side here just a little bit more. All right, so for tonight, that is going to be good enough. We can expand this out a little bit more. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna go to our little smithy icon and we're gonna look at our equipment. So the equipment bench is self-explanatory, and this is the guy that is going to be making all of our weapons. So let's go ahead and craft that down. So from here, the things that we have available to make right off the bat are the spear and the bow. Well, we need more vines, but we can get more vines. So the bow is great for long distance. The spear is really good for creating distance if they get up nice and close to you. So I would recommend making both just right off the bat. So we have the spear. We have to go get more branches. All right, we're gonna go ahead and make the bow. Perfect. So then you might be wondering how, since we have our bow, how do we make our arrows? So if we go back to our inventory, you're going to see that we can make arrows and bolts from here. We end up finding the crossbow when we're out looting. We won't be able to actually make the crossbow at the equipment bench. And you can be like a true Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead, and it's glorious, and I love it. But I prefer to be a Toriel from Lord of the Rings, aka the Hobbit. She's the add-on female elf from The Hobbit, and she's glorious, and I love her. Go Evangeline Lily. And I'm going to go ahead, and I am going to craft 5 of these. So we have some arrows, which I'm so excited that we finally freaking have. I'm going to make 2 more, actually. There we go. So we have our arrows. We're good to go. Perfect. All right, so our next thing that we are going to want to create is under our crafting tab, and that's going to be the material production tab. So this is going to turn any of our raw materials into something to like, I'm trying to figure out how I want to say this to you guys. It's going to turn them into their next form. Think of a not Pokemon, like a Digimon evolving. That's what this does for you. This is what I'm a Digimon girl, don't judge me. But that's what this material production ends up doing. So if we go in here, all of these items right here are locked. So you can unlock these at the research station, which is going to be one of the things that we end up building our first day. But this section allows you to make cement, brick, and trim stone, which helps you upgrade your base to stone, which helps against fire. As I mentioned earlier, there are fire zombies that happen, I want to say around 5. I think actually on my stream, I got wave 4. I got fire zombies, and I got destroyed. But that's neither here nor there. But so just keep in mind that you can unlock these as you research them. The most important section of this, though, is going to be this last one, because you can make iron ingots, which when we get to our actual crafting station, that allows you to make your gears, which allows you to make your trap pieces, which then allows you to make your physical traps. to help slow down the zombies. So from here, let's check out our crafting section, crafting table. So we have enough iron, we have enough stone, we need lumber, and we need wooden planks. So let's go ahead and craft one of you, and you, craft. So now we have a crafting table. And again, this isn't going to be like our final base layout, but for our first night, we just need to get these items thrown down so we can, you know, build up appropriately for our first night. So from here, we can make our cloth, we can make our nails, and we can make a rope. A common thing that I struggled with when I first started was like I had no idea how to make rope. So what you have to end up doing is use your pieces of cloth, turn them into actual cloth, and then you can make ropes with the vines. Our first night though, we're not going to use all of our cloth because we are going to want to actually make a sleeping bag, which resets our respawn point. So we're no longer at the bunker where we first started the game. We're going to be coming back to our base every single time we die, which is super helpful. So we're not having to start all the way on the other side of the map. And then the second thing we're going to want to do is when we start building our base, it doesn't show up on the map at all. So either you have to have a really good memory of where it's going to be located, or what I like to do is I like to throw down a flag. We're going to go ahead and plant that. You can use your own color scheme. I always like to use red for my base. And then our final thing that we are going to need is our research table. So from here, we're going to need 2 lumber, 2 planks, rope, and nails. So let's see how much more rope. Oh, we have plenty of rope. Cool. Or plenty of cloth. So we're going to go ahead and craft all of our cloth, and we're going to go ahead and make all of the rope that we can. And we are going to go hunt down more vines, branches, and logs. So we're just going to go ahead and slap some bushes and trees. All right, so we have enough for the plank and lumber. So we're going to go ahead and make 2 plank, 2 lumber, go back to our build, go to utility, perfect. And we can go ahead and craft our, trying to think, where do we want this to go for right now? Our research station, perfect. So once we have our research station done, we can craft our gear pieces and trap machine parts from here. But when you first get to it, you're going to see that the gear and the trap machine are both locked off, saying that we need the engineer research. So if we head back over here, we're going to see that we have junior engineer and we're going to have engineer. We're going to go ahead and unlock the junior engineer, which unlocks plastic, which we need for gears. So we're going to go ahead and unlock that and then go ahead and select the engineer. And that will allow us to make our own trap pieces. So let's go ahead. So from here, we have enough for that. Perfect. So then you guys are probably wondering, well, wait, what the heck? We don't have enough iron for our trap machine. But lo and behold, I have a solution for you. So when you have your crafting station, this is actually true for either the crafting station or the material production, is that you guys can deconstruct your iron plates to make iron ingots. So what we're going to go ahead and do, we don't have a purpose for iron or the iron plates anytime soon. So we're just going to disassemble all 4, and that gives us 4 iron ingots. So what we can go ahead and do from here is we can make our trap machine, and we have 1 trap that we can use that for, because we have to use an iron ingot for whatever trap we end up deciding to use. So I'm going to say we should probably go with the pendulum the first night, because that ends up smacking them away from our base a little bit, which will allow us to hit them with our bow and arrows. So, and we need 1 ingot. So let's go ahead and see. So we need rope, we need nails, we need wooden planks, and lumber. Cool. So, and I need to remember, I don't remember how much. 4 and 4. Okay. Do we have enough? Oh yeah, we have plenty. So We go ahead and do 4 here and 4 there. Don't think we have enough rope. This is the only problem with this game, is unlike the forest, you can't click on something and track how many items you need. All right, so we need 4 more pieces of rope. So let's go ahead and make our nails. We go ahead and make 10. And the great thing about being here and then close to the city is that we are going to be able to do quick looting missions and get back to our base. All right. Okay, so rope. Go ahead and just craft all of it. Perfect. So then we'll have enough for our pendulum. All right. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is perfect. So I am going to have the pendulum facing outwards, so that way when zombies come down this main track, they will get kicked back away from our base. There's just a little bit more, because if they get to here, we want them to be getting kicked off. Now, the one thing you guys are going to want to be paying attention to are your traps, blind spots. You'll see a significant increase in the amount of zombies that you're going to have to deal with in your waves. And it's going to be really easy for them to use these blind spots right here of the pendulum to get by and just immediately get up on your base. So a solution to this is that you can either use your protective walls, which require trim logs and your rope, and you can just do it along the sides. Those don't do damage, and those take a lot of items to upgrade it to a stone wall for it to be fireproof. My personal favorite method here is to use the barbed fences, and you can just place them in the openings, so it makes it a little harder for them to get into the blind spot, and it causes damage over time. As many times as they run into it, that's how much damage they end up accruing. So I think that's my personal favorite method. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all of the logs, and then we're gonna get crafting. So we went ahead and we made our trimmed logs. So we're gonna go to our trap icon and go to melee. I have no idea how you say that word. We only have 8 rope, so we're gonna really focus on placing these barbed traps as close to our stairs as humanly possible, so that way they can't get in close to our base and bypass our trap altogether. So we can make 2 more. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them right here, which we don't really need another one right there because that was actually a good placement right there. Cool, awesome. So then that causes them to have to come in from at least right here, which will allow our pendulum to knock them back and keep going throughout the night. So essentially we are pretty much all set for our wave. And in our second video, we are going to see the effects of the wave and see which direction our zombies coming from. And then we can make minor tweaks during the day for that video and to better address the zombie waves. But I think this is actually going to turn out really good, and I'm really excited for that wave. All right, my boos, so that gets us to the end of episode 1. Episode 2 is going to be going over base expansion and getting our inventory system set up to maintain your long-term success in this game. If you guys are feeling awesome, go ahead and leave a like, a dislike if you're feeling like a dislike, comment, and if you're feeling super awesome, feel free to hit that subscribe button. It would be super appreciated. Catch you next time, my darlings. Bye. Oh god, we got big boys coming. Oh my god. Oh the shit. Big boys are here. Big boys are here. Big boys are here. Big boys are here.